Today is July 12th, and the Giants and Saquon Barkley have yet to agree on a certain contract, and Saquon Barkley still hasn't signed the franchise tag. So we're less than a week away from the deadline. It's going to start to pick up a little bit. This is going to be my last video about Saquon Barkley until either the franchise tag is signed or the contract is signed. And I think one of those things are going to happen. He's not going to sign nothing and not play the season. I can guarantee that. But also another thing I'm going to be touching on today is, why is Fox talking about Brian Daboll getting traded to the Chargers? Like, the topic was just laughable and it was like ridiculous, but we'll get there when we get there, man. But first off, I want to talk about Saquon Barkley and what this whole saga has been about, what it's been for a long time. I want to recap everyone's memory and lead up to where we're left at now, which right now Saquon Barkley is still technically not a New York Giant, unfortunately. Even with him working out with a lot of the current players and working out with Isaiah Hodgins, Paris Campbell, Daniel Jones, you heard it all, everyone he's been working with. And Saquon Barkley had a great season last season. He had a great season. We all know this. Put up over 1,000 yards rushing. He was back. It was his first season redeeming himself ever since that ACL injury. You know, the year after the ACL injury, he just wasn't himself, and this team was just a dumpster fire anyways. But last season, being one of the top 10 rushers in the league, leading the league in rushing at certain points in times, and ultimately carrying this Giants offense to a top 5 rushing team in this league. Daniel Jones adds some to it with his legs, but we all know Saquon Barkley truly carried this team at certain points in times. And towards the end of the season, his production did start to drop off a little bit right towards the end of the season, but you saw Daniel Jones pick up his play, and you seen maybe this Giants offense can kind of perform maybe better with Saquon Barkley not being the #1 focal point, when you can spread the ball around, throw the ball around, and have him rush for about 10 to 12 carries a game. That Vikings playoff game, I'll be talking about that for a long time until we go win the Super Bowl, because that was my Super Bowl. This team was in a rebuild season. We weren't supposed to win anything, and we went into Minnesota and won that game. Daniel Jones played great, but Saquon Barkley played fantastic as well. So overall, that's what I love to see ever since these two guys were drafted, and ultimately that was the combo that I wanted to see. 8 and 26, like, they needed to go off, and they did, rightfully so. The Giants had a big decision to make on whether signing Daniel Jones or signing Saquon Barkley. Which one were you going to do? And one thing I have to remind you guys, which is crucial for this process right now, is that the Giants waited until the last second, like literally like less than 5 minutes to go, to sign Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones agreed to that contract, a big contract. Everyone wants to talk about $40 million. Yes, we signed him for $40 million, but you know, it was a lot of negotiating back and forth. Times we thought, all right, he's asking for way too much. Times we thought, no way he's gonna even get $35 million. Man's got 40. So shout out to him and his crew. He got paid. Can't hate against a player. But the Giants waited until the last very second to get that done. So that gives me hope going into it with Saquon Barkley and coming to this contract negotiation. It might wait until the last very second. He's not the only player that hasn't signed a franchise tag. Still players like Tony Pollard and Evan Ingram. Still players haven't signed it. So definitely he's not the lone wolf doing this. Lone wolf not agreeing on a franchise tag and trying to find a common ground and trying to negotiate on something. That's still going on. And I definitely think that the Giants can get it done with Saquon Barkley. You know, going through it, obviously the moment that they signed Daniel Jones to that contract, Saquon Barkley, hey, you got to get franchise tagged. We can't negotiate 2 contracts right outright. We're going to franchise tag you for 10 mil and see what we can do. Ultimately, I think the Giants have leverage in this situation with only being a $10 million cap hit. It's not going to be more than what he's asking for, but it'll also save us money if somehow, some way we can get into a contract right now. It'll be a multi-year contract. Not all the money is going to be guaranteed. Obviously, the per year money is going to be what everyone focuses on, but ultimately for the Giants' sake, we can franchise tag you and see what you do next season. There's no reason for the Giants to like even try to budge on that. There's no reason to, especially with the reports coming out shortly after that. Oh, around the bye week, the Giants offered him around $13 million. He said no, because once again, he said he doesn't want to make the most out of all the running backs, but McCaffrey's up at 16 mil. He thinks he should be at least where McCaffrey is, which I don't blame him. He's going to try to cash in as much as he can because he's a running back. You know, this is probably the only contract extension that's worthwhile. That'll be a good chunk of money that he'll get. And for me, obviously, I put the Saquon shirt on. Shout out to Saquon. He's my favorite player. I want to see him on the Giants. But at the same time, the money has to work. I can't live in this fantasy dream where we pay our running back $13, $14, $15, $60 million a year, even north of that maybe. And then you have Daniel Jones making 40 mil. That's not going to work. That's just not going to work. I understand all the different topics that we talk about with running backs and different teams not having top running backs and winning Super Bowls. We all know that stuff, and it's just facts. Like, there's nothing else to really talk about when it comes to that. I just seen a 5th round running back, Pacheco, do great with the Chiefs. And you've seen it happen a lot. So when it comes down to it, ultimately, I do want Saquon Barkley back on the team, but the money has to work. And Saquon right now, he probably should have took that deal back in the bye week. The Giants did make it known that they took that offer off the table, but then shortly, about 3 weeks ago, they said that the offer is back on the table. Ian Rappaport came out with that. So it's really an intriguing situation, and we're trying to see what's going to happen with it ultimately because, listen, it can get nasty and it can get personal when it comes to these things, right? So Saquon Barkley might feel some type of way and might feel slighted, and who knows? Maybe he really doesn't want to play for the Giants, but I think it's not in his best interest to waste a year of his prime and not play for the team. And ultimately for the Giants, like I said, you don't have to budge on the franchise tag. So it's going to be interesting what goes on, but I'm holding out hope because ultimately, right, we're in the last week of this. They're still negotiating apparently. So that gives me hope that by the deadline, like even probably to the upteenth minute, Saquon Barkley and the Giants might agree on a contract. If I was to place my money on it, if it's me, I think the Giants do it. I ultimately think they do it. Saquon's a great culture guy. He's a great locker room guy. We all know he's a fantastic player. Probably still the most talented player on this team. Not the best player because I think Andrew Thomas can make an argument with that. But Saquon Barkley is the most talented player on this team. And last year, he was a big reason why we got to where we got to. So I think moving forward, man, you're going to have to bite the bullet, pay a little more than they want to, and ultimately just get their guy locked down. Some people aren't going to be a fan of that. Y'all let me know down in the comments how y'all feel about that. But ultimately, I think Saquon Barkley signs a multi-year contract and he's going to be on the Giants. Now, I just needed to touch on this. Y'all react to this clip real quick.
Some stuff. I had some wacky predictions. This one I did not put in, but I'm going to ask it to you. Chargers season goes sideways this year. They don't make the playoffs. Head coach gets fired. Do the Chargers make a run at Brian Daboll?
First of all, the topic had to be about Daniel Jones apparently asking for $47 million, which could be true. At the end of the day, so what? Daniel Jones has a $47 million. You know why? Because he just went out, won a playoff game. He was a big reason why this team was even good last season. And ultimately, he's going to try to get his bag. I'm a young, good quarterback. You just seen what I can do in the playoffs. And ultimately, you denied my option. You did not exercise my option. You said, hey, prove it. I went out and proved it. So pay me my money. That's what Daniel Jones did. That's what the whole topic was about. And somehow, some way, this dude, I'm not going to hold you. I don't even know his name. I don't. He says, if the Chargers go out next season and don't play well, do you think they make a trade for Daboll? What are we even talking about right now? Like, in my opinion, I'm no better than any other person, but you can put me on live television. I might have a better take than that. I'm just being honest. Because that came such out of left field. And ultimately, why would the Giants even consider trading Daboll? Like, what does that give them? Trade a first-round pick for a coach that you just signed to a multi-year deal. One, Joe Shane and Brian Daboll are like this. So, yeah, Joe Shane is going to trade him away for some reason. That makes sense. And then also, him being the quarterback guru, you just paying your quarterback Daniel Jones on a multi-year contract. He just had probably his best season of his career. And, yeah, let's take that coach away from the Giants, take that coach away from Daniel Jones, and let's ship him off for, like, one first-round pick. What sense does that even make? Like, it's literally crazy what these people talk about. And I get it. Listen, we're in the dead part of the offseason. There's nothing really to talk about. Nobody's even practicing right now. It's very dead. Trust me. I feel that. But come on, bro. Like, you got to come up with better topics at that. Or at least stay on topic with Daniel Jones. Not talk about shipping off his coach. It's ridiculous, man. Y'all let me know what y'all thinking down in the comments, man. Subscribe down below. Road to 10K is still active, man. I want to hear your thoughts. And if you haven't seen my other videos, I got more videos to the left right here, man. Hopefully my next video is Saquon Barkley signing, but we'll see, man. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.